Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, I am playing the deck that most of you have probably grown to absolutely hate seeing on the Best of One standard ladder. Now, before I talk a little bit about the deck and justify why I'm playing it today, please help the channel continue to grow. Sub up if you haven't done so already. And more importantly, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Badgermole Cub. Are you on Team Love or are you on Team Ban? I'm very curious to see how the community splits up on this one. Now, why am I playing this one today? There are two reasons. First reason is a personal reason. I just want to play Craterhoof Behemoth. This is a card that I absolutely love, but I never actually get to play the Behemoth. All those years ago when I started EDH, like 7, 8 years ago, you see this card and you're like, it does what? Oh my god, I want to put it in every single deck. You know, it really hits the inner Timmy. It's the Timmiest of Timmy cards, and it's incredibly powerful. So I just want to mess around with it. I want to have some fun with the Craterhoof Behemoth because I really don't get to do that very often. Then the real reason I want to play this is to find out how good or how consistent this deck is and whether or not it is a deck that I could possibly recommend to some people because it has some sketchy crafts in it. And the two main sketchy crafts are Bramble Familiar and Tender Wild Guide. These are both rare cards. Your rare wild cards are going to have to go into them. And I'm willing to bet that most of you probably don't have these cards. You guys probably have Paw Patch Recruit. It's a fantastic card. You should craft it if you are a green player. You probably also already have your Ouroboroids because, again, it's bonkers. Everybody knows that. But do you really want to be crafting 4 copies of Bramble Familiar and 4 copies of Tender Wild Guide? And I only bring this up because I think most of us know that the Badgermole Cub has a little bit of a crosshair on its back. And whether or not it's going to survive its entire time in Standard is very questionable. Yeah, it's got what, 2 years, 2.5 years left in Standard. I don't know when the rotation is going to be, but I doubt it's going to stay in Standard the entire time. So when it does possibly get banned, you're going to be sitting with 4 copies of Bramble Familiar and 4 copies of Tender Wild Guide. And are you going to feel burned? Are you going to feel like you got ripped off crafting these cards to play this deck? Now, the deck is putting up pretty good numbers. If we go on over to Untapped very quickly, there are 2 versions of the deck. They're basically exactly the same. One of them is playing 2 copies of Tyvar. The other one down here is playing 1 copy of Tyvar. Everything else is identical, I'm pretty sure. And, 57.1% win rate, 57.5 on these decks. Overall, 55.7% win rate over 36,000 games played, ranked currently as a B tier deck. So is it worth crafting or not? I don't know. But if you are a mono green lover, if you are a lover of the Badgermole Cub, I'm sure you've already been messing around with it. Today, I want to play with the deck. I want to see what the weaknesses of the deck are. I want to see how consistent it feels, and I want to see what cards we should be watching out for like sabotaging the deck, or the cards that are going to make playing this deck much harder. Now, how does the deck play? I don't really need to talk about it too much. You have ramp creature, ramp creature, ramp creature, ramp creature, ramp creature. Enabler for making those ramp creatures even bigger because this is going to double all of those. You have your Paw Patch Recruit because it's an insane card. Any targeted removal is going to put +1/+1 counters on all of your other stuff. People are playing a good amount of targeted removal. People are also playing Pinnacle Star Cage, so we are playing 4 copies of the Scrap Shooter, 4/4 for 3 mana. It says when this creature enters, if the gift was promised, destroy target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls, you just have to gift them a card. That's going to be pretty good if you're going to get a whole bunch of mana dorks back. 1 copy of Tyvar, because this thing is pretty cool. It can be indestructible. It stays on the field by tapping other creatures that are on the field, and then it can pump everything up. And then Ouroboroid and Craterhoof Behemoth are our finishers. So we're going to jump into some games, see how consistent Stompy Ramp is, and see how many times we can Craterhoof our opponents. See you over there. Jay Cool, please give me my game with the Craterhoof Behemoth. I am desperately searching for a Craterhoof Behemoth kill. And that's all I'm doing right now. I am recording more videos and I'm trying to get a turd whatever Craterhoof kill. We couldn't do it in the original 7 games. And I'm going to front load the video with this video if I do manage to find the old Craterhoof. Instead, we are against an Azure Beastbinder, a pretty good card that's going to mess with our Badgermole Cub. We do not block with our Land of War Elf. There it is. There it is. Okay, so let's... If I put out this, I can also put out the Leyline Weaver, but they're going to turn off the Badgermole Cub next turn. But I think it's... Is it okay, or is it better for me? No. It's better to go this way, right? So they can turn off one of these creatures with the Badgermole Cub or with the Azure Beastbinder, and then we flop down this Badgermole Cub and things will be a little bit better. But they have the quick Ouroboroid, so we're getting hit real hard here. Not real hard, but we're getting hit. And they're going to turn off the Leyline Weaver. I think you turn off the Leyline Weaver every single time there. Okay. So we can tap. I guess we put it out now. We can actually Craterhoof Behemoth this turn, right? But it is such an ineffective... Oh, no, we're short still. 2, 4, 6. We're still a little bit short. So let's just throw this onto the field. I guess it's fine. And pass the turn. So I think we're not going to get there because they're going to turn off the Badgermole Cub. Maybe I thought... I don't know what I was thinking. But if they turn off the Badgermole Cub, we can still have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8... Hang on, I'm double counting and I shouldn't be double counting. Oh? Did they not target something with... Did they not target something with the Beastbinder this time? They decided not to turn anything off? Gene Pollinator, okay. That's weird. So we have a ton of mana, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. We can also tap and put in the Tender Guide. Do I want to put in a Tender Guide? Do they have interaction? Maybe I just do this. Yeah, whatever. Craterhoof Behemoth. Oh no, they're going to have the Repulsive Mutation. They hold up the Repulsive Mutation and we're toast. Phantom Interference. Phantom Interference, we can pay for that. We tap down a land. The land makes 2 mana. Untap, and are we going to get it? We finally get it. The monster is hitting the field, and I don't think they have anything they can do for 1 green mana. Please, J. Cool, be a cool guy. Let me do the damage. Let me do the damage. I'm not going to delay. Snakeskin Veil on the Azure Beastbinder, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. What do we give them? We give them just a normal GG here. GG. Thank you, J. Cool. I really appreciate that. I've been hunting for a Craterhoof Behemoth game, and there it is. We land a Craterhoof. Not bad. Okay, game number 1 against Useless Blue. Oh, man, I feel a little bit bad about playing this deck, but at the same time, I'm going to have a whole lot of fun. And the other reason, and I guess I kind of ruined the surprise, I didn't put in the intro part, but I have some wicked art for my Craterhoof Behemoth, and that is one of them. I'm actually going to be... The plan is to switch up the art. Every time I kill an opponent with the Craterhoof Behemoth, I'm going to go with some different flavor of Craterhoof Behemoth. Okay, so we get to throw out the Bramble Familiar. We get to tap the Bramble Familiar with the Gene Pollinator, put out another one, and that means we have 6 mana on turn 3. Balanced. While my opponent figures out what to do about this, help the channel grow, sub up if you haven't already, and please leave a comment and like the channel. I really appreciate all the effort you guys have been putting into helping this channel grow bigger and bigger every week. It's touching. Thank you. So we are currently at a good amount of mana. I think we just go with the Ouroboroid. We pump the Gene Pollinators up a little bit, and then we swing in for 4. They are playing Kavaro, so we have to kill them before turn 4, which might be possible. We're going to do a lot of damage next turn. Next turn we got 4, 8, 12, 17 damage. So if they don't have any blocker here, if they don't have any removal here, they are toots. But they are targeting the Ouroboroid by the looks of things, so Bitter Triumph on our poor boy. We got a lot less damage now. That being said, they don't have any nasty stuff in the graveyard. They have the Meringue River Regent, but that's not the thing that's going to entirely wipe the board. So I think we just put some creatures onto the field, keep attacking in. They're at 9. We actually are representing 10 damage on board right now, so they need a blocker or removal one more time. Actually, they need a blocker. Removal is not really going to work because the Paw Patch Recruit is going to put +1/+1 times 2 on something. So even if they remove the Bramble Familiar, we're still going to have 9 damage. Okay, they have the human, they have the Kavaro, so that's pretty good because actually I think this time they can bounce things with the Kavaro being a river regent. But again, like I said, we get 2 triggers. They bounced the wrong things here. Oh, and I put things on the wrong things here. I should have doubled up on the gene pollinator. Whoopsie doodle. Oh yeah, I definitely, right? I'm putting everything on the one. I should have put 2 here, 2 here. Ah, that sucks. Okay, I'm gonna. I shouldn't have put that last one on that one either. Okay, it's fine. We will be fine. Maybe I should have just loaded this one completely up. So from this position, do we then go? Well, we're definitely attacking in with this fella. I definitely should have just put all them on this. If I wasn't going to go 2-2, I should have committed to the split because then I could have at least attacked in with 2-4-5s. Dumb boy. So in the graveyard, they have another Meringue River Regent. I think because of that, we're definitely going to put out the Paw Patch Recruit because if they try to bounce more stuff, you know what's going to happen. And then I think it's probably fine to throw the Bramble Familiar onto the field. Tap, sure, that one. Doesn't matter. Okay. So hopefully that doesn't punish us. They could be at 5 health right now, but instead they are at a much healthier 9. Oh, man. Dumb. So if they block the Gene Pollinator, how much damage are we getting through? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have exact lethal unless they have that, but that's not a good card to have. So let's spread the love. Would we have had lethal? Let's find out. Man, Paw Patch Recruit, such an insane card, even if you don't have the big ending things. So they killed that. They would have blocked maybe this. We will 1, 1, 1. So let's say they block this 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We still have exact lethal no matter how we spread it out. Cool. Next one. Game number 2. I've said it before. I'm going to say it a million times, I think. Paw Patch Recruit is such an insane card, isn't it? It's just so good. All right, well, we're keeping this one. Leyline Weaver, I didn't actually talk about that in the intro. Leyline Weaver is such a good card in this deck. We have the Scrap Shooter and we have, no, Scrap Shooter doesn't trigger it. Sorry. Ouroboroid and the Craterhoof Behemoth are both going to untap the Leyline Weaver when they cast it in for mana. Having that immediate attacker is so good. Do I want to put out the Paw Patch Recruit? Yes, the opponent mulligan down to 5. I want to put a little bit of pressure on them right off the bat. Next turn, we're going to go out with the Badgermole Cub. Are we going to go out with the Badgermole Cub? Or are we going to go out with the Tender? Okay, let's attack in. I feel like they don't have any interaction. Let's just go Tender this time. No, Weaver. We'll go Weaver. The Tender with the Offspring too, super cheap. Some of these Offspring cards do feel very, very good compared to other ones. They have the Get Lost. We're going to pump up our Recruit. I'm fine with that. And we don't hit anything especially great. Let's tap like this. We'll get in for an extra point of damage by animating this untapped forest. And yeah, I think I'm fine just attacking in for 4. Maybe I could have, the argument could have been made to use these map tokens with the 2 mana that I generate from the forest. We'll see if I live to regret that. It looks like we're going to get hit by a Star Cage. Ooh, we're not getting hit by a Star Cage. Okay, put it here. People hate the Badgermole Cub. So now we are sitting on a whole bunch of maps. I don't want to commit anything else to the board, so I think I'm just going to dig into my deck, and I'm going to try to find Ouroboroid, probably. Lands. Clear the top of the deck of lands as well. We don't need that. We already got one in our deck or in our hand. Nope, we don't want to do that. We'd rather get in for 7 points of damage. Glad I didn't quick tap that. So they're down to 5. They need to kill the Paw Patch while they had a tap land. They had not enough. Spot removal is not enough to deal with the insanity that this deck spews onto the field. Even though we had kind of a weird or slow start, still, it was enough pressure up. And again, Paw Patch Recruit. Imagine that. I'm going to be incredibly upset if I play 7 games with this deck and I don't get a single Craterhoof Behemoth kill. I'm gonna be sad because you play. I don't know if you guys know the process, but the process is usually you have an idea for a deck, or you go and you see a deck online and you put it onto Arena. You play a couple games, it feels good. You're like, okay, I understand it. Then you hit the record button and you start making a video. That's the typical process. And I tell you, it seems to happen every single time. And other content creators can probably confirm this. Decks will always play better in testing every single time. Okay, let's just go ham, right? We're going to Leyline Weaver. We're going to put out the Gene Pollinator. Our Azure Beastbinder, or the Azure Beastbinder from the opponent, is probably going to turn our Leyline Weaver into a 2/2. Kind of annoying, but not the biggest deal because we can still get the Ouroboroid on the field. Now, the Ouroboroid is going to be held down by the Azure Beastbinder. No. Okay. Okay, well, Demir, interesting matchup. This might be a little bit tricky for us. Do they hit the Land of War? Okay, well, we can still block the Beastbinder, so why not mitigate 1 point of damage? It doesn't hurt us to do. And we can still put the Ouroboroid on the field. We could also just Tender Wild Guide and put 2 more Mana Dorks on the field. Is that a better approach? Because the Ouroboroid is going to get held down by the Beastbinder. So I think I'm okay going this way. Man, I really wish I had my recruit in this matchup, because every time that Beastbinder attacks in, if they decide to target one of our things, we'd be getting 1 or 2 +1/+1 counters. It'd be real swell, I tell you that. Okay, they got 3 mana open. Are we going to see a ninja? Maybe they return the Spyglass? Nope. Instead, we just get hit for 17. So that means that they probably have... I don't think I expect a flash creature here. I'm kind of expecting some kind of counter magic. There is the Floodpitch Drowner. So let's put Tyvar onto the field. We have quite a bit of mana that we can pay to pay for a nasty thing. We can actually slam the Ouroboroid. Isn't that crazy? I don't think I want to do this yet. I don't want to attack. I don't really want to lose any of my Mana Dorks, knowing that I have Ouroboroid and possibly Craterhoof off the top. Maybe this is a little bit of a cowardly thing here, but I really... Oh, they have nothing? So what is this? What's the mana they're holding up? They only have 2 blue sources now. I was going to say 1 blue source, but it is 2 now. And I am assuming they're going to Azure Beastbinder onto the Tyvar. Oh. Okay. Okay. So they become 3/3s. Pass to blockers. If I block, and then I can do this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Yes. Okay. Let's murder a Beastbinder. Did I miscount? Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It got turned off this turn. It just got turned off. Whoops. Oh no. Okay. I'm dumb. I needed to do it before. Oh. Dang. I needed to... There was no way to actually kill the Beastbinder here with my plan of pumping the Tyvar, because the trigger from the Beastbinder would have happened pre-blockers, and then as soon as the Wild Guide was turned off for mana, I couldn't have blocked, because I would have had to buff everything to a 3/3 beforehand. Okay, we still get rid of the Did we only have 3 damage? We only had 3 damage. Okay, hey, don't look at it too much. Don't look at it too closely. Oh, it's so bad. It was so bad. Okay, it's fine. So now do we just slam this? Okay, fine. Here we go. Ouroboroid. I can't just keep sitting here waiting for them. Okay, may as well put out the other Llanowar Elf. What do they have? They definitely have something. Does our trigger... Okay, do they have the Tishana's Tidebinder? Very, very cool from the opponent. Okay, so Tishana down. She's going to turn off our Ouroboroid indefinitely. And now we have the Flood Pitch Drowner. So I can't really attack in too comfortably. I definitely can't attack in now. And I feel like I just threw away my... What creature got murdered? I think it was the baby... Well, the poor baby wild guide. Tyvar gets shuffled away. I can't do it, can I? No. I don't have enough mana. All right, off the top, how much mana are we going to have? Probably we have Craterhoof Behemoth mana. So here's the stupid thing. If we do peel the Craterhoof off the top, it's going to be an incredible amount of damage. We will, and then we will also have 3 attackers that are all going to be getting +6/+6 trample and haste. So, okay, so we get hit by the Siren Spyglass and we draw a land off the top. Not great. I'm so bad at this game. So bad. Okay. We could have tapped the Tender Wild Guide to put a +1/+1 counter on it. It could be potentially a 4/4 by now. Nowhere to run. Oh, the Tender Wild Guide could have survived. Now it's dead. Yeah. Target the Wild Guide. Okay. That's awesome. Fine. So it does hurt our potential Craterhoof Behemoth off the top a little bit. Man, Azure Beastbinder is so good, isn't it? Okay, they get a bunch of triggers. They get to put that on that. So I will this time tap it down. Just completely forgot about that. My bad. We let all this damage come through. They draw a card with their Preacher of the Schism, and we need a miracle off the top. Oh, it looks like they got their... there's their Kaido. Okay. Demir's messing with my head. Okay, here's the moment. Do we hit the top deck? Do we hit the noob thing? The thing that saves us from our own bad play? No. Drawing lands. Okay. There's not a whole lot we can do against Dimir if we're just going to keep drawing lands and not the payoffs. We're up to 7 mana. Pretty rough. This deck, I don't know how many lands. I'm going to find out for the next... I often say this. I'm going to find out for the next video or the next game how many lands are actually in the deck, because I can't remember if it's 22 or 23. But maybe the opponent's giving us one more draw. We don't know what they're holding, though. But we don't have to tap very much. Now we're up to 7. The Craterhoof Behemoth is 8 mana, so we would only have to tap down one of these Llanowar Elves. I wonder if Kaido's going to go and stun something. No, they're drawing. Okay. Okay, don't forget to put our counter on the Wild Guide, like I often do. And let's see, they pass it. Okay, here it is. We got one draw. Gene Pollinator. Rough. Real rough. Okay. Well, that's what you got to expect. Sometimes you're going to not draw so well and you're going to run into somebody with good interaction. Okay, next game. Delgado. Let's see if we can find our big boy. We find all of our enablers, but we don't have any of the payoffs. We have 8 of the payoffs in the deck. Mono red means they might be blasting our poor Llanowar Elf on turn 2. We'll see how that goes. Mono red on the play, probably fast enough to run us over, especially if we don't have that payoff. And yeah, if you're against the mono green deck, I think throwing the Slick Shot onto the field immediately just to get that extra little bit of damage, totally worth it. Okay, Badgermole Cub, doesn't matter how we do this. Boom, boom. And then let's put out the Leyline Weaver. So we got a lot of mana. In fact, 2, 4, 6, 8. We actually have turn 3 Craterhoof Behemoth mana, but we would have to tap down. Well, actually, it would be okay. We would have 3 attackers if we peeled the Craterhoof Behemoth and they don't have any interaction to remove our stuff. They have the Firebending Lesson, though, because you got to be packing your Firebending Lessons nowadays for these Badgermole Cubs. Now we are much further behind. So There's the Ouroboroid, though. So what do? You slam an Ouroboroid, right? And this is going to be a 1/4. Do I also put out... I think I put this out 100% of the time. And do I attack in? I think I don't attack in. Not yet. We're going to conserve our life total. Against mono red, it's not a big deal to do 3 points of damage against them, because the way we win this one is the Ouroboroid stays on the field for one more turn, and then we overwhelm them with so many big creatures. They might still be able to kill us in the air with this Slickshot Show Off, but the Leyline Weaver does have reach, so if things do start to get hairy, we can take that out of the sky. Actually, the Slickshot Show Off not getting toughness really puts it into a little bit of a bad position. And I think there's a little bit of a secret tech here. I think a lot of people don't realize that the Leyline Weaver has reach. It's just something you don't think about. I think reach is one of those keywords that is so often forgotten about. Okay. Let's just throw the offspringed tender wild guide onto the field. I could also throw the scrap shooter down. 1, 2, 3. But then I would be tapping... Yeah, too much. I don't want to be doing that. So instead, let's put pressure. Now we can put pressure. Our Ouroboroid is kind of out of range of being killed very easily. Our Leyline Weaver is a good blocker for the slick shot. So even if they attack with a slick shot, 100% I'm blocking, because I can't allow that option or the possibility that they could finally or find a whole bunch of instant speed spells. The opponent just going in ham. Yeah, they do have 3 mana though, so that's a little bit scary. But we're gonna block pretty well here. 2 cards. I don't know. Ooh, that's cute. The last Agni Kai. And they murdered their Slick Shot Show Off. Did they know that was going to happen? Oh, okay. Poor opponent. Well, we bounce back. I guess when we don't run into too much resistance, I think it's fine. Okay, back on the winning train. We're going to put that kind of sketchy Demir game behind us. Don't worry about that game. And we're going to keep rolling. Already up to 5 games, and we haven't seen the big boy yet. We've seen the Ouroboroid plenty of times. There's another one. Of course, we're going to keep this. This is insane. So we're going to have a turn 3 Ouroboroid, 3 creatures on the field, then followed up with a wild guide, making 2 more babies, assuming they don't have any interaction. Maybe our opponent's doing the exact same thing. It would have been really nice to find the cub there, of course. You know what? I'm getting in for 1 damage. If they want to trade Llanowar Elves, perfect. Absolutely perfect. What? That's insane. That's okay. All right. Things. Ooh, okay. It's because our opponent is not playing what we thought they were playing. They're playing a Gruul list. I wonder if these lists also put... There's the cub. So can I... So here's the stupid thing. Here's the absolute stupid thing. You can put out the Badgermole Cub, throw this forest in, and we still get the Ouroboroid, and we still get the untapped Weaver. Oh my god, it's gross. And I could actually put out the Tender, but I'm not going to do that. We'll attack in for 3. It's fine. They have to get rid of this Ouroboroid this turn, or it's game over again. But we are doing this without the Craterhoof Behemoth. Am I going to have to go and film a whole bunch of games with this deck just to see the Craterhoof Behemoths? Like, in my head, when I first started this, like, I'm going to play this deck, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to get so many Craterhoof Behemoths. I'm going to switch to like 4 different arts. It's going to be super cool. Every game is going to be a different art. Oh, their Slick Shot Show Off goes into exile, and they're not going to be able to take advantage of that. Okay, they get in with the Emberheart Challenger. Let's take 4 damage. Okay. Scrap shooter. Okay, so do I want to put out everything and just have a huge board? Yeah, why not? What's the big deal here? We do this, and then we're going to tap our Leyline Weaver, but we're going to have so many blockers. It's fine. Sure. And we can even start attacking in with the Cub and the Ouroboroid, because I don't think they'll be able to deal with these 3 blockers that are on the field. I'll probably throw something in front of the Emberheart Challenger just to make sure that we don't get killed in 1 turn. I don't think I missed lethal by tapping. Okay, so I attacked with these 2. I tapped this. I would have had another 5 damage. They probably just would have let it through, or chump blocked with the Llanowar Elf. Ouroboroid for the opponent. That's cool. I can appreciate this. Overprotect, cool. So they're gonna have a 6/6 bit of damage coming in on me, but we have so many creatures. They can only 3 of them are getting through. Doesn't matter. Okay. Do your 6. Boom, boom. GG, opponent. And no Craterhoof again. Dang. Stop hiding. Stop. Every time you set out to make a video and you're like, I'm gonna play this card, it's in the bottom 4 cards every single time of your deck. Brock 10 for opponent number 6. Brock 10's gonna get hit by a Craterhoof Behemoth. There it is. There it is. There it is. But we don't. We're going first. I'm gonna say hello to make my opponent think I'm friendly, but unfortunately, I don't have the turn 1 mana dork. That's gonna slow us down a little bit. We also don't have the Cub, so although we do have the Craterhoof, we don't have the explosive mana start. Things are just not lining up. Our opponent. What did you? Oh, okay. So they are also going fast. We currently have 7 mana. 7 mana is not 8 mana. There is their Outcast Trailblazer, Outcaster. If they have the Battle Crier, things are going to get really bad for us. But maybe they're stuck on 2 lands plus the Llanowar Elf. Nope, they have another Sanctum, okay? So we need a lot of help. I think we're going to need to draw a land within the next 2 draws. We don't. So at this point, it is play out. I just don't want to get killed on the next swing, but I think we need to try to kill them on the following swing. So I need to have Tyvar on the field, and I need to have probably the Scrap Shooter on the field, but that's not enough damage at all. So is the play to put out the Scrap Shooter just as is, plus the Tyvar, leave 5 blockers, and hope that I draw the land. If I draw a land next turn, I can go 1, 2, 3 plus 5 mana to put out the Craterhoof Behemoth. That means I want to have as many attackers on the field, which means I definitely want to have this as a Trampoly Boy. So I need to do this. And then from this, I'm going to tap 2 of my creatures to put the Tyvar on the field. We're going to tap this guy, and this guy. Okay, I think this is probably giving us the best chance to maybe win. We need a top deck, and if we hit the top deck, if they don't, hang on, we got to discuss their turn first. If they don't kill us this turn, which is very likely, next turn we need a top deck, and then we can kill them with our plan. So they use all of their mana to do. Oh, man, we're so toast. They're drawing their entire deck here. And now they're getting a discount on everything by 5. So everything's -5. They have a ton of cards. They're going to generate 3 colored mana. They still have their Leyline Weaver mana. Their Leyline Weaver, also fantastic card because it gets to tap and then untap, tap, and untap every time they want to do something. So I think we're actually dead here, which is a little bit of a shame. I don't know if I would have had the lethal had I drawn. No. I think I had a land in turn. I land in hand for the last turn, so I did play out a land. Yeah, we have 4. I think this is turn 4, which is crazy. Imagine that this is a turn 4 board state for both players. There's their Railway Brawler. Yeah, sure. We just need to not die, though. But what are the chances? They just drew an insane amount of cards. And they still have like near infinite mana, actually, because of this Leyline Weaver. What a card for uncommon, 2 mana. Unbelievable. Okay, yeah, it's very dead. So we die here. They. Oh, it's such a shame. We were so close, and I'm not even gonna get to find out if I top deck the land or not. Uh, I think because you know what, you guys should see what's going on here. See, these are now haste, reach, trample, 40s. Powerful. Yeah, at least the opponent's cool. They're not gonna play it out. They're just gonna swing in. And GG opponent. That's rough, buddy. And we take our damage. So we are gonna go into game 7 with a big bruise on our eye, minus 122 life. And we're gonna hope to find the Craterhoof Behemoth. Wazas is our final opponent in the main set of 7 games. I have a okay. We got our ramp. Opponent's going first though. We don't everything's too hard right now for us. We're not getting any easy Craterhoof Behemoth gameplay action. It's a real shame. But we do get our Gene Pollinator. We do get our Leyline Weaver. Fantastic. It's the card that you want to see, I think. It obviously, in that last game, it enabled the opponent to do insane stuff as well. We get, of course, a second Craterhoof Behemoth, something you don't want to see in your deck. But you're going to, of course, it's what's going to happen. Every time you get it, you're going to get another one. So they're finally showing up. This amazing, absolutely amazing card. Okay, the opponent has the Innkeeper's Talent. Are they not triggering Drunith? That's crazy that they don't. They might have a land drop still and a 1 CMC spell. It's tapped though. Okay, they're going up to 2 CMC, so they actually missed there. I suppose what we're doing, we're sticking to the plan of Tender Wild Guide. And so now we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. We put this out for 1. And here it is. It's possible that we finally get it. And actually, we would have a follow-up Craterhoof Behemoth. Craterhoof Behemoth, not legendary. So maybe we get the big blast here on game 7. We finally throw everything out onto the field. Okay, Badgermole Cub. They're double up their Badgermole Cub. So they're doing crazy stuff. They actually still have 4 mana available to them. What are they going to do with that 4 mana? Throw an Ouroboroid down. Are they just going to level up the Innkeeper's Talent? They don't have enough mana to do both levels on the Innkeeper's Talent. That would be 5 mana, I believe. Yeah. So, okay, they no. What are you going to do with your last 2 mana? Okay, Ouroboroid. So that gives us a clean board to be able to slam in. Oh my god, they got double Ouroboroid though. That's so cool. But it's post-combat. Okay. This is actually not enough damage for us. Oh, we also have to tap down the Paw Patch Recruit. It's actually not nearly as good as I wanted it to be. But we can swing in for exactly 19 damage. But we're going to be dead on the backswing. We're dead on the backswing. The Craterhoof Behemoth was not enough. The confirmed Badgermole Cub is more powerful than a Craterhoof Behemoth. A Badgermole Cub on the back of double Ouroboroid, mind you. But they're going to have to put something in the way. I guess you throw away the Beastbinder, you throw away the token. You just throw away one thing. You throw away it doesn't matter. Beastbinder? Sure. Okay, they save some damage. They go down to 2. And we're going to get smacked very hard. I think we're dead. Maybe I shouldn't have swung as hard as I did. But you throw down the Craterhoof Behemoth and your brain just goes, okay, hit face. So how much? They have 2, 4, 6 mana available to them. 2 cards in hand. They could... what you do here is you level up the Innkeeper's Talent. That's... okay. I mean, this has to be lethal on board. Especially if they don't tap their breeding pool. If they do tap their breeding pools, it's still lethal on board. You put this there. Yep. Boom, boom. Yeah, this is an insane amount of damage. There you go. Oh, yeah, a little bit of a shame. We saw the Craterhoof come down. It wasn't good enough. The opponent maybe being smart and not putting in the breeding pool. They could have mitigated so much damage, though. Game number 7. No Craterhoof action for us. Such a shame. But you thought I was done? I'm not done. I wanna show off both my Craterhoof Behemoth arts. There it is. There it is, boys. It's lovely. Age 5.5. Beautiful art by Kira. This card, I wish they did more stuff like this. Obviously, it's pretty sketchy, but I love the concept behind this one. I can't remember what the promotional idea was, but it was children drew something and then their parents upgraded it, and that's the art that we saw in the last game. This time, we get to see this version of it. I like it. I like it a whole lot. It's just, it has a good story behind it. And I want to get a kill on Dude 420 with the Craterhoof Behemoth. They are playing something very cool, though. They are playing dinosaurs. So we are going to tender Wild Guide. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have enough damage to throw out the Craterhoof Behemoth next turn, but it's not going to be enough damage. So I think we need to go one more turn Ouroboroid, then Craterhoof Behemoth on the following turn. If we end up hitting the Badger Cub, though, we'll be in a much better shape. We will be in much better shape. Dinosaurs playing Badgermole Cub, I guess so. That's the thing about this card is, even if it's not on theme, it doesn't really work with dinosaurs because, you know, the Pugnacious Hammer. Yep. Okay, opponent. It needs a dinosaur on the field to do some cool stuff. Now, we would have to tap down literally everything, and we're not going to do that. So what we need to do is not die. And I think to do that, we're just going to put out the Ouroboroid, pump everything up, and we're going to try to mitigate as much damage as we possibly can. And then on the following turn, then we will go for a kill. I mean, this is a cool deck by the opponent, but it's just so weird that this Badgermole Cub is able to enable so much damage, right? And it doesn't matter the shell that you put in it. It's just an auto-include in green decks, and that's a little bit lame. Now, the opponent is going to combat here, and I don't know what the deal is. So there is the Ghalta. The Ghalta coming in for 12 damage. Man. So they put me into a really weird position here. Do they have a pump spell for Ghalta? Am I safe at 14 life going down to 2? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need all of my things. So for the sake of trying to get out of Craterhoof Behemoth, I'm going to take a hit by... Okay, we only take 12 damage. They could have a shock spell. I wouldn't put it past them. They do have green or red mana. No, it's a Lore Keeper. So you know what? We still need the Badgermole Cub, but maybe not, because Craterhoof Behemoth plus Ouroboroid is insane. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. They got a lot of blockers, but they are not tough blockers. Let's at least do this. I always forget to put the +1/+1 counters on these Wild Guides. And we draw a Gene Pollinator. Not good enough, but we're going to throw down the Craterhoof Behemoth. It gives a lot of power to the Ouroboroid, and that should be more than enough. That is 35 damage coming in at the opponent. Opponent, I'm sorry, that's a cool deck. I really like what you're doing there. I wonder if they had pushed a little bit harder, if we would have been in trouble had this Restless Ridge attacked too, giving creatures +2/+0 until the end of turn. Okay. We get to see both Craterhoof Behemoths finally doing the cool thing. And that's all I wanted when I set off to make this video. Boom, boom, boom. All right, finally, we're going to go to a wrap-up. Okay, so wouldn't you know it, I finished that set of 7 games. I had to play 3 more games. Of those 3 games, 2 of them ended up being Craterhoof Behemoth kills. Why couldn't those have been in the original 7 games, right? What is the odds? It's like the Magic gods, they know, hey, these are the 7 games he's going to showcase in the video. We better not let him do the thing. And then as soon as I finish, they allow me to do it. Thankfully, recording was still happening. So I'm going to put one of the videos up. Obviously, if you've watched this point, one of those videos was the first game. And then I also did a bonus 9th game at the end with the Kira art coming in for the end of the video. Now, what do I think about this deck? This deck is more one trick than anything you could ever imagine. This is even more glass cannony, I think, than the mono red or is it red or whatever red one turn kill deck that you're playing where you're pumping up your slick shot show off and just slamming face. It's pretty fun though, and when it works, it really works. I actually didn't see the Badgermole Cub hitting the field all that often, and honestly, just ramping into a turn 3 Ouroboroid is more often than not enough. More often enough. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's often good enough. It works. So ramp, get your Ouroboroid down. Honestly, I think if you're going to make this deck, though, you just don't even go with the Craterhoof Behemoth. I think the Craterhoof Behemoth plan is actually a little bit weak overall. You probably just need a Tyvar and an Ouroboroid on the field, and you're going to be in better shape. A lot of the time, you're tapping down your stuff with the for the Craterhoof Behemoth, and then you're not getting full benefits from this thing coming in. Now, in that last bonus game, you saw when you have an Ouroboroid on the field, you can tap all of your enablers down, and your Craterhoof Behemoth and the Ouroboroid are still going to be massive and slam in for 35 points of damage, because that's what's going to happen. But I think if I were to recommend a deck that's playing the Badgermole Cub and Tyvar and Ouroboroid, I probably wouldn't bother crafting the Wild Guide, the Bramble Familiar. These are going to be enough. These three right here. This is all you need for Enabler, because all you really need is to get up to 3, 4, or 5 mana. You don't really need to get up to 8 mana to generate so much power, because if you get up to, let's say you get up to 5 mana very early, you throw down an Ouroboroid and maybe you have like a 1 CMC hexproof spell. If your Ouroboroid stays on the field for 2 turns with mana dorks, you win. That's what's going to happen. Your opponent would have to have a board wipe, and you know what? Maybe they do, but most of the time, they're not going to be able to keep up with an Ouroboroid that triggers twice. That's what you need to be doing. So I think it's cute. This is cute. It's fun, but this is where it's at. You could probably also get rid of the Scrap Shooter and lean more into this. Now, Leyline Weaver, very powerful card. Oh, I think you could play it. You could also decide not to play it. I don't know. This one is also kind of a sketchy thing. This right here is your core of what you want to be doing. And then you could add another color. You could add blue for some protection. Tishana's Tidebinder is fantastic. Of course, I think the Simic deck that I played about a week ago now is just a much better Badgermole Cub deck overall. That's it for this one. It ended up being a long one. I hope you guys stuck around. I hope you had fun. And yeah, mono green is fine, but this you shouldn't be crafting. Don't fall into the trap of making this. Don't craft your Bramble Familiar. Don't craft your Tender Wild Guide. I think it's not consistent enough, and I think you can do a much better deck overall with the Badgermole Cub with a few different strategies. Take care for now. Saranga Ipana, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.